everybody. A warm welcome to another interview on Wisdom from North. I'm Jannike, and if you're new to my channel, welcome here. I would love for you to subscribe, and you do that below. Now, today I'm excited to be here with Lizete Morais again. Lizete is an international best-selling author. She is a consciousness teacher and a retreat leader, and she's passionate about helping women leaders create a unique ecosystem and actually bring forward their most aligned and authentic work. She also lives in Costa Rica in the jungle, and she's passionate about helping people live and lead a life from wholeness. And today we're going to speak about the new paradigm of female leadership. And I'm excited about that, Lizete. Hi, welcome. How are you?
So good. It's so good to be here with you, Jannike, and lovely to be with all of our ladies that are joining us.
Yes, today we're going to speak about Women Leader Arise and the new paradigm for female leadership, and also how this is connected to ecosystem and Mother Nature. And I know you had a webinar or a class that I watched, and I was really intrigued by it and inspired by it. And I would love to learn and start with, why are you so passionate about helping female leaders?
To be honest, they are the solution to so much of what is not right now, especially right now. They've always kind of been, for me, the special, incredible beings. If I think about the people that really made an impact in my career and in my life, it has been exceptional women that lead. Because when I say women leaders, a lot of people might not have the idea that I have. I don't mean a corporate leader or a suit or a position. I mean someone who is living what they are meant to live. And I think in this generation more than ever, we as leaders, as women, have the opportunity to be that.
Exciting. And you're talking about this ecosystem that you're helping women create their, or go on a journey to create their own unique ecosystem. Now, what does that mean? Let's start there. What does that mean?
So I have been on the personal development journey personally forever, right? I mean, since I probably arrived, but officially as of 19. And what I have seen is that the paradigm of development is something is missing from what you have from your toolkit. You need to go from A to B, and this thing that is outside of you, the template, the training, the insight, the tip, the trick, whatever it is something that you don't have. So you need to get it and develop yourself and become slightly different than what you were so that you can have what you have. That is like the old paradigm of development for me. And that development paradigm had me running on a wheel for so long, my friend, so long, trying to be that other, right? That thing that I had imagined, or that person, or that presenter, or that presence that was different from the being that I actually am. This new paradigm that I'm introducing about ecosystems is to say, and this was one of my biggest revelations. I was doing a presentation. I nailed it. You know, talking is like the easiest thing in the world for me. It's the one thing I do. And I still, after that presentation, even after all of the comments of Lizete, that was great, on the way to the train, I still had that conversation, the conversation we've had a million times. I should have done it. Damn it. Oh, no. And I'm having this entire conversation again. My whole energy's dropping when I had this one insight. And I said, I just wish that I could be that girl. You know, that one that I know when she's all alone and no one's watching, when she's unattached and unafraid, when she is bold and she is bright and she is beautiful. I want to be that one. And I realized that one, she's in here. So the journey is not about getting something that is outside of me or a trick that's going to make me look interesting. It is about being this presence that is powerful when it is present. And then the question became, why aren't you present, baby girl? Why aren't you here? And I realized that so many of us, when we think about development, it is like this ascension process. Even in the spirit, like we talk about ascension, but there is another process which is all about descension. It's all about being the one that I am, truly, but having the safety to do that. So when I say ecosystem, I am actually saying that this paradigm, what we're going to talk about today, is not about getting something outside of yourself. It's about how do you support yourself so fully and be so safe and be so secure that you show up. But we don't have an ecosystem. Many of the times we're not consciously aware of that ecosystem.
Very fascinating. Let's talk about the ecosystem, like how that is connected. Is there something else you're putting into that word? Because we know about ecosystem. I just would love to hear how this is connected to the new paradigm.
Of course. So let's make that bridge. Thank you. And this is why this works in an interview. And it's so, I love how you interview. So,
Okay.
you know, ladies, be so grateful for Janneke. So what, you know, I knew what an ecosystem was, of course, before coming to the jungle. But when I was in the jungle and I was already teaching and leading women leaders on retreats, one-on-one journeys, and we were always working on wholeness, right? Which is essentially what I'm talking about. But the ecosystem in the jungle, it was so interesting because I would see the difference between one little seed being planted in a certain spot while another was planted in another spot, right? And I realized that irrelevant of the potential of the seed, the tree and the plant will just become completely different, sometimes double the size. And when I was inspired, it was actually around Christmas last year, I was sat enjoying Christmas, having a Christmas. I really loved my Christmas, but it was totally different than any other Christmas, as so many of us experience because of the times we're living in of transition. And I was looking at this tree and I saw it for the first time. And I said, wow, this tree only has 3 things that supports her and actually creates her ecosystem. But nothing thrives without the ecosystem. And it doesn't really matter the seed. And if I was thinking about my beloved sisters and the clients I serve and my own self, I had never thought about how am I fully supported? And maybe it's not about I'm not good enough. Maybe it's not that I don't know how, but it is, first, I'm not doing the right thing because I don't know what that is. I'm trying to make up a message that isn't my voice. So it's hard and complicated and frustrating, but I need an ecosystem. And this beautiful tree, she had 3 things. She had beautiful soil that was full of nutrients, that was rich, that was healthy, right? She had a source of water and she had light. She had these 3 things. And it was so beautiful because in my leadership model, which I had been teaching already for 13 years, not seeing the full depth of this, which I knew it was wholeness, but it's also about being your natural self, leading from that natural place that is you. And this tree was not trying to be a banana tree while it's a lemon tree, right? It was just the tree that it was. And this was exactly the same pillars that I have in my leadership model. It's exactly the same journey I was teaching people how to do. So if we look at the soil, that's the awareness. It's what's underneath, you know? You look at the tree, when you see a tree, you're actually seeing the health of the root, right? And you can't see how healthy those roots are. But when those roots are not healthy, it can just fall over overnight. right? So we need to go down and we need to sift the soil, you know? And if we have the activation is my second step, which is water. You know, if we're not moving and we know flow and we know no flow, but when I'm not rooted in true beliefs, I cannot activate properly. And so while I am rooted and I'm activating, which is the beautiful masculine and feminine divine energies, actually, you know, working in perfect harmony, then I can stand in light. And this alignment is the third piece. Like, how do I stay there? How do I build my structures from there? How do I keep myself nourished from there?
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. And it's so fascinating that we make these discoveries on our own, right? You went into nature and there was a deep insight there. And I often feel nature is like that. We can go to nature and learn about ourselves and our own lives. And you're saying that women, we are nature, we're supported by nature, we're really connected to nature, and we need to open up more for that. And you also say that, and I found this interesting, we need to have it all to have it all. And that was an interesting concept. And I was a bit like, I don't have it all. Do I need to have it all to have it all? Or but I got your message in it, and I would love for you to address that.
So I do not mean by any stretch of the imagination that you need to have it all together to have it all. What I am saying is you need to have a healthy relationship with it all. And the fact that it might not be there, but there is this, it's very different when we want something and it's not there and there is suffering. And we're pretending that, oh, we don't need that. Oh, we'll struggle by. So a beautiful example is there was there's a lovely lady, one of my clients. I'm thinking now, who am I going to use as an example? But an incredible client of mine. She was a VP of marketing, a powerful woman, you know, completely dedicated to her work, but she really, really craved connection and relationship. And the paradigm that separates a lot of us entering into this phenomenal place of development and this new paradigm of development, which is based on support, which is, by the way, the feminine way, right, is the feminine model. If it's based on support, I'm not going to pretend that I'm going to be great at work, but really on the inside, I come home every night and I'm actually in a depression that I never want to admit about because I actually crave romance. So I didn't go and find her the man of her dreams. But what I did do was address the core issues of what had kept love away from her, from receiving love. Because we can have a lot of stories, which is the soil, you know? Oh, men will never accept a very strong woman. And I'm like, really? So as long as we're holding these unhealthy relationships with it all, what we'll end up doing is we'll try to overcompensate in certain areas and we become unbalanced and unsupported and untrue to ourselves, you see. So we have to have it all to have it all. And what is that all? Sorry, I asked myself the question.
Great. You don't need me. No, I'm just kidding.
But that's the question, right? What is it all? That is really the question that has evaded me forever, because we just want to be happy, right? I mean, for real, we just want to be happy, Annika. And we feel deeply and we do the work and we look around and we're like, I want to truly make a difference in the world. And somehow I'm feeling stuck, small, hidden, whatever it is, confined in a way, right? So what is it all that I really, really want? And I've noticed it's, again, three things. We need to live, love, and lead. And live is, does my lifestyle, the way I live, my programming actually serve me. There's so much of our life that is built around stuff that actually does not support us as well. So here we go into, self-love, we go into soul alignment, we go into purpose. What is it that I really am about? And for most people, they'll be like 60, 70% of the way there, but there's that 30% that they're like, yes, but I have to do this and live this way, or I've got an addiction that I can't get rid of, or I've got anger issues that I've got trauma that I'm not healed from. And if you don't heal that, then it's not about getting the next template or the next brand design. That's not what's going to do it.
That's interesting that you're saying. Kids, we're talking about female leaders, and a lot of them, I know that you work with very accomplished women, and you're saying it's not about, that new system or that new thing. It's about the person, how we're doing. And I love that. Like an energetic approach, actually. And I just had a mastermind with my female business colleagues. We have a small mastermind together. And I was asking a question, and one of the girls were like, Janneke, you have to start with the energy, the way you feel about it. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's just I wanted her to like come with a business strategy or something. She was all about the energy, and I'm like, I know that, but it's so funny that I didn't sort of remember it. That we often go to the business solutions and the next new thing, and being on that social media. And I know you're speaking about that also in the class I saw, that we think that we need to be on all these places, and it hasn't anything to do with that. Of course, it helps to be visible. So there's an element of it, but I think we have put too much focus on all the stuff we need to do.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And even if you have a lot of stuff, because we've got a lot of stuff, like I'm a teacher. And so my tendency will be to, let me show you the framework. Oh I figured this out. And, but actually I noticed that is not what serves people the most. When I ask every client, or even in a session of when there's a huge transformation in any of my sessions, it's not because of the clever words or the tactics. This is all the mental, right? So we need to have the mental balance, but really what is creating the change and the fulfillment that we want is coming from this heart space. It's the presence. It's I love what I'm doing. You find a woman that loves her life and loves her husband or her partner, or loves the idea of love, and she is in love, right, with life, if she's holding the space for her partner to come in. And you find her doing what she loves in the world, and you have found an unstoppable, an incredible being that will get anything she wants. But it's not by force. It is by her natural essence. I said a sentence that just came to me when I was talking to one of my clients, and she was faffing around about something, and she's like, this person has to change, and then I'll feel better, and all of this. And I giggled, and I said, love, you don't need to debate with anything. When light walks into a room, it doesn't need a name tag, right? When truth speaks, it doesn't need an introduction. But the problem is, while we're so busy on all of these platforms, we haven't done the deeper essential work of what is that truth. So maybe I don't need 20 videos. Maybe I need one interview. Maybe you need I work with business entrepreneurs to help them bring in the real business of their souls, their purpose. What is it that they want? And some of them have started, but it doesn't move from a hobby, or some of them have started, but it's not generating the income. And it's not tactics that is going to get it. It's that presence that demands higher value, that demands a higher level of client that they have more fun with. But we are the solution to everything we are looking for. And that is my main message in my work. You are everything that you need.
I love that. And I know that you're all about wholeness. And now you explained it so well that it is really a holistic approach to life and your work. And obviously, you're focusing mostly on female leaders and leadership, but you're really helping them have a fulfilled life in general and how everything is connected. And you know, it's so right. You're so right. And also, like you said, and yeah, I also wanted to just comment on what you said in the beginning, that we talk about ascension all the time, but it's really about descension. And descension, is that the correct word? Yeah. And I really agree with you, because I think a lot of us think that we have to soar up there somewhere, and I think it's really about bringing that soul essence down here and create heaven on earth. Heaven on earth, it sounds silly, but I think we have access to much more love and joy, if we would bring more of that soul essence and step more into our natural selves instead of running away, trying not to be humans and soaring or longing or escaping up there somewhere. So I just wanted to comment on that. And back to you being the solution. I love that. Because what you talked about in that class that I saw, and I would love for you to share a bit about your programs as well, because I assume many could be really interested in it. What can you speak more about you being the solution? And I think I know what you're talking about, because when I started Wisdom from North, I was asking the big questions, and I sort of wanted to live from this hobby, but I didn't know how. And all of a sudden, my curiosity, that became my work. So it really came from me, not something out there. It came from me. And I think that this has to do with something around that we are the solution to the problem we're actually wanting to fix.
Always. It is incredible that we have become, and part of, so let me start here, because that's a big question. And I want to explain this because it's so important that people get it. If they get this one thing, they will already start tapping into their wisdom, because there was a time in my career, especially early on, when I would look at people and I would see how they moved, how they spoke, how they expressed. And I would be impressed, because there's a lot of impressive people out there. And one of the things I'm really good at is adapting. And a lot of women are good at adapting. But we think we need something outside of ourselves. And we can effort and effort and effort. And most of the time, life will bring you to the end of that efforting, because it's exhausting. You just can't do it and be sustained. But it is, and it really is like a dark night of the soul for me. And I've had various what felt like dark nights, right? Especially when I transitioned out of my corporate career, simply because I was done playing games. I said, I'm in leadership because I want to make a difference. And when I got to the top of my game as an executive, as a director of communication and training, 80% of my work was about cover my backside politics. And I was like, this isn't what it was, but I still love those people. But every single client that I've worked with for the last 13 years, their solution was in not even having that thing that they thought they wanted. It was understanding why they wanted it and their attachment. And it was seeing that it was an inner perception of what they thought they needed. So in my life experience, I've had various stages of this development. I've been guided in my own journey. And the last 2.5 years of living in the jungle and living a more natural life and homesteading and, off grid, and it's been a lot of fun and it's very adventurous. I'm not saying that people need to go there, but that was part of my journey. I realized how little I actually needed, because we all think if I can just get a paradise, I'll feel better. The problem is you are in paradise. So if you are still struggling with something, it is going to show up everywhere. And when I'm in the bliss state on my own, when I'm in that state of alignment and oneness with me, of wholeness, you can put me anywhere, Yannicka. My whole world can fall apart. If I've got me, I'm going to be okay. And I think the best analogy is, even just yesterday, I saw a little bird and it was amazing. And she had this huge red, chest, and she was just the most magnificent little thing. And I know she has no clue what's happening next for her. She has no clue. But she's got her, So she just does what she needs to go do. She doesn't need to worry about that. She knows that nature provides. She knows that there's worms. Yes, there's predators. She needs to keep an eye out. But she needs to stay true to what she's doing. And we've missed that. We've lost that. We've lost a little bit of ourselves in this race to become this thing that we don't even know, that we thought we were supposed to. So finally, we could have everything we wanted.
This is truly inspiring. I'm just sitting with this feeling and this openness inside of me of, I am enough. There's so many times we go into I'm not enough. And I think a lot of women resonates with this as well. Like, is it all about just being me? I mean, I've heard it before. It's just the way you're speaking about it really goes in. I can feel it goes really in. Like, I have everything right here. It's about me bringing me to the table. And now let's go into, how do you actually help women do this? Because I know you have some programs. So I would love to learn more about the way you work with them, the things you're offering, because I assume many can be really interested in joining you and having you as a teacher.
It's so there's two ways that people right now can work with me, and I'm also getting super clear on what I need to do. And to this point of not enoughness, I do want to say there is a part of all of us that have known we're not enough. Like we've heard it's in you. We know this in theory, but I want to say that the reason why it's felt impossible until now to feel like we're enough is because we haven't been supported. Not really. We haven't been seen. We haven't been received, really. All my clients have such a dream for themselves. They have such a longing for life. But most of us have not grown up in very, very supportive environments, even if we absolutely love everyone in our life. It's not about them not loving us enough. It's about them not understanding what we need. Like even my father, when I told him I was leaving my corporate career to start my own business because I had to follow my heart, he was furious. So that's what I mean by not being supported in actually who you are. So many of us have had to get where we are on our own. The work that I do supports you to create the community that actually does see you, because sometimes it's not enough just for us to know that we are called to do it. We need the support. So I'm very excited right now to do two things. The first thing is I want to do, for the ones who hear this and they're like, I have been waiting for you, Lizete, forever. Where have you been, girlfriend? I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm late. It's taken a while to get all the pieces together, but I'm here and I'm ready and I'm going to rock and roll. I want to start a mastermind, which is a year deep, long dive, right? And why a year? Because I am not the teacher. I teach. And I hold space and I create the container. But what actually is happening is life is teaching, right? And we are going to dive into this process as a community of 15 women. 4 of these spots we're going to start at the beginning of July, or the mid of June and the end of July, the beginning of July. And we are going to go through a year journey. And in this journey, we are going to cover awareness, which really looks at calling, who am I called to be? And having that level of clarity about who this being is. Now, when I say clarity of my calling, then it actually generates confidence. There's many people in this time that are coming to me and they say, Lizete, can you teach me about confidence? And I say, I can't teach you about confidence as a tip and trick. I need to teach you about the clarity of your calling. So if I can facilitate you to get really clear about what you are called to do, your confidence is natural. Yes? So we just need to do that work. So that's like the first stage of our time together. The second place, once we are really clear, once we have the clarity and the calling and the confidence and we're on fire, now we're going to activate. We don't activate until we're clear. And so many women are exhausted in their business and they're exhausted in their corporate career because they're trying all these things, but they don't have that laser beam focus, right, of that one video that changes the game, or that one funnel. You know, we keep hearing this marketing, just one funnel will change. And you're like, yay, I've created 50 funnels, still not working. What's happening? You know? And I know that because we need to get clear. The activation part is the courage. Okay? So now we need to move forward in courage and charisma. Confidence will help our courage, but there is still a step. I love that. I can't even remember who said it right now, so don't hold it against me, but that beautiful phrase of the one who I am becoming will catch me. You know, let me fall, and the one that I am will catch me. Because we need to jump. If we are not, there's a jump at some point in our development, right? To build that courage and to build that charisma, and charisma not being, you know, but the natural state of you, the presence of you, and that is going to start creating that beautiful activation and flow. And once we've done that, and you start having that movement and momentum, then we move into alignment. And alignment is just that incredible consciousness. You know, it is, I can stay here now that I've created this ecosystem. I can stay here. I'm supported. I know what I am. I'm in a healthy place. I've got the right momentum. So that alignment is consciousness, and it's compassion, and it's credibility, right? And that's what we're going to develop. So we do that in a 1-year journey. And in that mastermind, which is so profound, what I want to do as well is activate women to really start understanding how to work together. So that's why I want a 15 strong mastermind, that's it, of women that truly support each other. Because one of the things that we are healing in this time is women helping women for real. And not even helping as in networking or helping them out, but loving them so deeply that I cannot wait to see what you are creating in the world, sister, right? And you cannot wait to see what I'm creating, you know? And the one thing that I really promised in this mastermind, because I've signed up for masterminds, I've paid so much money in my personal development journey and have gotten so little, you know, from, you know, so many of those programs, was that I said, you know, those 15, I want 15 women, because each of those women is not just in a group once a month and learning these profound understandings and insights that unlock, because we don't have to learn about anything outside of ourselves. We just have to unlock the truth of us. But to integrate that, they need one-on-one time with me. So each of those 15 also every 2 weeks have a one-on-one call with me. I become their personal coach. I'm not going to be this person on top somewhere talking nice things. We need to go into the soil of it and see how that applies to you. Because the nutrients that are missing in your soil, or the rocks that are in your soil that you don't want there anymore, that we need to get rid of, is different than Elsa or Amanda. You know, but we're all going in the same direction. So there will be a sharing. There will be a powerful connection. We all suffer the same things. We all isolated in our own boxes, thinking, "Oh, it's me." No, it's not. It's all of us. The lessons are all the same for all of us. The programming has been the same for all of us, right? So the dismantling of that program, so that this incredible being that is you can arise.
That sounds really amazing. And are there some spots left just for people to know?
So I started announcing it already last week. There's 4 spots already taken. So these are clients that have already worked with me and they just ready to go to the next level, and so those are done, but I've got 9 spots at the moment. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you feel ready, like you are at the precipice where and it is becoming urgent in your heart and in your circumstances, it is becoming urgent to say, I need to step up in my biggest work. It is bursting to come forward, and I'm trying all these things, but it doesn't seem to work. It only means you're not connected enough to that. So I'm offering a free leadership clarity call for this mastermind, because it might not be that you need the mastermind, right? Maybe. But when you get that clarity of calling, and that's the one thing I'm giving already for free. It's like, we just need to get clear about clarity. So we can have a 30-minute, I say 30 minutes, it's never 30 minutes, love. I always go to 60 because I just love people. I want them to get it. So if they get this, they already have such a big step forward. And sometimes they're like, Lizete, actually, I've got much more in my resource pool than I thought I needed. I said, okay, maybe it's just this and this that you need. But there's some that are going to be ready to say, you know what? I want it all. I'm ready. Game on. Right? So I'm selecting people for that because I do want it to be like-minded people. Those are specifically for corporate leaders. And it doesn't mean you have to be a director or a VP or, but a person that is in corporate leadership that wants to thrive, or has a business owner, as a passion, a coach, a consultant, a service, an artist. They really need to bring their work to the world. Then this is a phenomenal mastermind for you. Mm-hmm. And I have 9 spots. But I am.
Sorry.
Oh, the thing on the mastermind, by the way, I totally forgot, is a retreat in Costa Rica with me, right? And with our sisters and with this mastermind. And being connected to nature is not just about beauty. Nature herself is wholeness. So when we tap into her, it's just going to take the whole work to another level.
It sounds amazing. And I looked at it also on your site and I was like, oh, going to Costa Rica, I would love that.
Magical.
So the support you were talking about, because we don't always have the support we need, our parents or friends or whatever it is, our family, we can't, change that. We can't change other people. Is that what people are receiving? Like in the group, they will receive that support? Or do you mean that you help people go out and find more support in their lives, like new friends, new people to support them? I just wanted to clarify that.
Yes, a great question. And no, we can't change other people. I've tried, years. We cannot. What you will do in the work is you will learn how to support yourself, be on your own team in a much, much bigger way. I cannot believe how I used to treat myself. And it wasn't on the outside. It was, the inner critic, the saboteur, the imposter syndrome. You see, and that's what's so beautiful, because I totally slay the imposter syndrome once we get clear on your calling. When you are clear about the magnificent being you are, you don't suffer from that anymore. So immediately, right, you don't accept people just dumping on you. You don't accept that you have to be the one that always carries others. You now allow the other to walk their journey and love them. But you get to hold you, right? And as you are learning how to hold you, you start actually opening up to receive people. One of the things that I did in this retreat, the very first retreat I had 9 women come to a retreat, a 3-day retreat. And I poured out my heart and I just taught them. It was the first time I took this very profound transformational work that I normally do one-on-one, and I brought it into a group setting. I had no idea if it was going to work. Because for us to go that deep, normally it's not that safe, right, with other women. Those women, at the end of those 3 days, they loved each other so much because we had created a space of unconditional love and acceptance and support. But then they turned to me and they loved me. And I'll tell you, I was not ready for that kind of love. It blew me away. And I was like, what do you want from me? What do you want? I already gave you my life's work. Now, what do you want? Because we are not used to people loving us just because they truly see us. And why? Because we haven't shown ourselves. We've been so busy hiding behind our masks and our strategies and our tactics. We don't get to love each other yet because we don't know each other. We don't see each other. But in this work, when you see each other, so with those women, these women are still, those first 9, they are still my core friendship circle of support today. That was 4.5 years ago. I did my first Arise retreat.
Wow. Oh, so inspiring. And I just want to mention, I know you have another program as well that is like shorter for those who cannot commit or
Yes.
not time to commit for a year. So
Yes.
I urge people to check that out if this resonates and if you are inspired by this. I'm very inspired by this. I was like, this is for me. But I'm busy at the moment. But yeah, this really resonates with me, Lizete. You're doing amazing work and so important. And this new paradigm is really inspiring to learn more about. And you're expressing it so well. It's like something that is very sort of big, but difficult to pinpoint in a sense.
Yes.
But you just did, and it just makes so sense. It's truth. I feel like it's truth. Yeah.
Oh, that is incredible. We just did a 6-week journey. I did a pilot of the 6-week. So the other alternative is a 6-week journey. And what is so incredible is even in that 6 weeks, with one call, and a couple of resources, the momentum and the connection that happened and the transformation for these women. I've got some of these testimonials, and that's why I said if people aren't ready for a year, and a lot of people aren't, because I don't have that much space. The mastermind is going to be my VIP work and have my full focus, but I can't handle more than 15. But I do want to get this work out there. So I'm doing a mastermind to clarify a little bit more about this ecosystem. A webinar, masterclass. And I'm also doing this 6-week journey. This 6-week journey, I'm pricing it at $297. And I'm doing that just to be defiant, just because I want the truth to not have to cost people $10,000. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but I love people to get this. And I'm going to launch that. And I want to invite people in to learn about how to do this in like 6 weeks. And the transformation is just phenomenal.
Very exciting. And you'll give me all the links and I'll put them all here below this video. This is super inspiring. And thank you so much for doing the work you're doing. And you have so many skills. You're so versatile. Like we just did an interview, I don't remember when, a while ago about twin souls. You've written this beautiful book. And I got a lot of emails from people saying how much they appreciated that book. And that is a totally different topic. So it seems like you have so much wisdom to share in so many areas. So thank you so much for being here today, Lizete. Do you have any final words of wisdom today to share with us?
Yes. And it is just this: you are more than enough. And not only is it important that you fulfill that potential, that seed is perfect. You are perfect. And if it hasn't been working out, it's not because that seed is not enough. It's just because it hasn't been planted in the right soil. It hasn't been nurtured enough, and it hasn't been allowed to be in the light. And I am creating this container for us to do this, not just for us, but for our families, our communities, the people that we serve, the teams that we're here to support, the businesses we're here to run, the clients we're here to serve. And now more than ever, we need people to arise, to be that, not another avatar, not another ego construct of, oh, I need to be, and then run after that individual, whoever she is, because you are the most incredible individual you will ever need to be. That is really the heart of it.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Lizete, and all the best with your beautiful work.
Thank you. Thank you, Yannicka.
And thank you so much for watching, everybody. And remember to subscribe to my channel if you haven't before, and to shine the light that you are. Bye-bye.